Attraction is based on only two things. There is nothing else. Number one is status, and number two is polarity. Okay, I'm going to break these down step by step. Then I'm going to get into the 10 points of how you can actually be, like, tactically, how do you be the arsehole women love? What are the things that you can just copy paste that I've already tested? The first one is status. The fundamental law you must understand. Women will only date men they perceive, this is the key word, perceive as higher status than them. Right? You do not have to be higher status, they just have to perceive you. Right? And these 10 tactics are going to make her perceive you as higher status than them. That's why I've included them in here. The second one is polarity. And again, basically what this is it's just the difference between masculine and feminine. That's what polarity is. Opposites attract, the same repel. It's like a magnet. Positive and negative attract, negative and negative repel, positive and positive repel, right? You have to have masculinity, and that will put her into her feminine. Again, these 10 tactics are going to show you exactly how to do that. So let's get into this, fellas. What is the first tactic? Let me actually show you this. The first one, attention, right? And you're like, what does this even mean for? So let me walk you through it. So attention and eye contact. Okay. The first way you can be perceived as higher status by her is by using eye contact tactically. Okay, let me explain this to you. So the way humans give out status, so social status, is through attention. And the primary way we're going to do that is through eye contact. What does this even mean? Well, people who are higher in status will tend to receive more attention in the form of eye contact through other people. Okay. And people who are lower in status will receive less eye contact. So let's say there's a high status guy like myself speaking to a woman, right? An 8 out of 10, a 9 out of 10, whatever. I'm higher status than her, so I'm going to talk to her a certain way. Let me actually tell you exactly how I do this with eye contact. What I will do, and this is exactly what you want to do, fellas. You want to hold strong eye contact when speaking and remove your eye contact when you are listening. I'll reiterate that. When you are speaking, hold strong eye contact. When she is speaking, hold less eye contact. Why? The reason you give eye contact when you are speaking is because that communicates to other people that when I speak, you listen. Or when I speak, people usually listen to me. People pay me attention. The magic of that, fellas, is that will make her subconsciously perceive you as higher status than her. Why? Because of the way you are acting, right? The image you are giving out to her. She thinks, fuck, this guy's high status. That's the only way she figures if you're high or low status. By the way you act, you can control this stuff, fellas. Now, this second one is the important one, right? This is where most men will go wrong. Okay, when she is speaking, what do most men do, especially if she's a beautiful girl? They will stare at her. Okay, this is exactly what you don't want to do. You do not want to stare. Why? Because you're giving your attention for free, right? You're giving her all this eye contact, all this attention for free, right? You're just staring at her. She doesn't have to work for it. What does that tell her? You're a low status guy because your attention is easy to earn, right? And fellas, you know this. Women, right, humans, or especially beautiful women, they do not want things that are easy. They want things that are rare. Right? And how do you make a beautiful woman perceive that your attention is rare? By giving less of it. So this is the tactical thing you want to do, fellas. This is the tactical thing. Listen to this. When she is speaking, look at her less, right? And the way I tactically do this, say this is her, I'll just look to the side of her and I'll hold strong eye contact here. That makes me look extremely confident and it makes her work for my attention. What's that subconsciously communicating to her? You have to work for my attention. You do not get it for free. And what's that going to tell her? He's higher status than me. He's higher status than me. I need to earn his attention. He's not like all of these other guys. And if you're wondering, this is one way how you can differentiate yourself from every other guy, right? By making her work for your attention. That's the first point. And again, When you make her work for your attention by not giving eye contact, that's the key. You do not give her eye contact when she's speaking, right? You give it rarely. She has to earn it. And it's rare. And women want things that they cannot have. This is how you differentiate yourself. This is how you make her chase you, right? This is one of the ways we're going to do that. Let's move on to in fact, I'll give you a bonus point before we move on. Fellas, the only 2 times you ever want to look at a woman, and this is a rule, this is a law that you do not want to break, otherwise she will perceive you as a fucking creep. This is the fucking law. The only 2 times you want to look at her, 1, when you're walking up to her to start the conversation, or number 2, when you are speaking or when you are conversing. Most men, when they are speaking to a beautiful woman, they will stare at her. Right? They will give her all this free attention. If a girl catches you staring at her when you are not in conversation with her, she will perceive you as a creep. That is not what you want to have happen. Okay. So let's move on to the second point, fellas. So the second point, what is it? Speaking. Well, I'm going to give you my monster list of how to speak to a woman to make her perceive you as higher status than her. And also it's going to make her think you're some fucking asshole. Because you're not like every other guy who's trying to entertain her and trying to keep her attention. Let me take you through this, guys. I've just bringing my notes up. So I've actually prepared for this. So these in my years of doing this, these are the exact tips that I use when speaking. I give these tips to every single guy of how to speak to a beautiful woman. Okay, number 1, and I'll explain these in detail. The first one is you want to use short sentences. Okay. The second one is you want to say very little. You want to use very few words. Number 3, you want to give very few compliments, right? You do not want to give a lot of praise. Number 4, you want to finish your sentence with a downwards intonation. Okay, let me actually walk you through this step by step. What does this mean? Short sentences. Why do we use short sentences when interacting with beautiful women? Okay. The fewer words you use, or in fact, let me just break these down. Okay. Why do we use short sentences? Why do we give very few compliments? And why do we speak? Why do we use very few words? All 3 of these have the same reason. You communicate to her. You must entertain me. I am the higher status one here. You must work so that I do not get bored. Right? And guys, this is the key. If you have been on a date with a woman and she lost interest in you, this shit should be ringing to your ears. Right? This is probably, I will give an 80% probability to any of you motherfuckers watching. This is the reason why she lost interest, because you speak like a fucking idiot. Right? When you speak in this way, right? When you don't speak in this way, when you speak in long sentences, when you give loads of compliments, when you speak loads and you try and lead the conversation, whatever these fucking beta males talk about, what does this actually like? If you look at it subconsciously, what is this communicating to her? What is this like? What is she thinking? That's what you want to think about, guys. What is it making her think? You're trying to entertain me. Or you're trying to entertain her. You're trying to prevent her from getting bored. And what does that make her think? Well, he's lower status than me. If he was higher status than me, he would not motherfucking entertain me. No, he would not do that. I'd be trying to entertain him. Guys, you can see how these subtle little tips completely switch the power dynamic. Like, most guys will speak like this. They'll speak long sentences. They give loads of compliments. They'll speak loads. And that makes her think, well, this guy's trying to entertain me. He's lower status than me. This is how guys lose, fellas. Right? But if you speak in short sentences, if you speak very few words, if you give very few compliments, it tells her he's higher status than me. He doesn't give a fucking shit if I'm interested in him or not. And again, that's going to make her perceive you as the fucking asshole. Right? Guys, this is it. Let me just clear my board so you motherfuckers can see all of this. Okay, let's get back into it. Back into Zoom in. There we go. Right. So they're the speaking tips. And the last speaking tip that I didn't get onto was you want to speak using a downward intonation. So I'll give you a few examples. Hi there. What's your name? I'm Force. Nice to meet you. Most men will speak like this. Hi, what's your name? I'm Force. Nice to meet you. You can hear the difference. And you can, fellas, I can even hear in my own voice how my pitch raises, like the depth, the deepness of my voice, or the pitch of my voice. It goes like a little beta male child when I speak like this. The reason scientifically why this is bad is because you're asking a question. That's how humans speak subconsciously when we're asking a question. Their intonation raises at the end of a sentence. But dominant men speak like this because they're not asking her a fucking question. We're going here for dinner tonight. This is where we're going for dinner tonight. Get in the car. Right? It's not. This is how high stats men speak, fellas. They're issuing commands. They're making decisions. And again, most men can't do this. If they try and do this, they'll hear some dating gurus say, all right, take her out to dinner. And they'll be like, look, babe, we're going to the Italian tonight. And she'll be like, I don't like Italian. They'll be like, fine, where do you want to go? Sushi, Japanese, Chinese, steak. And then you melt, right? You let her make the decision, right? What you want to do is you're going to be like, we're going to the Italian tonight. And if she says, I don't want to go to the Italian, we're going to the Italian tonight. I booked it. This is where we're going for dinner. Boom. You're going to be the arsehole. Right? And again, this is going to create the polarity between the masculine and the feminine. Doing this shit makes you more masculine to her. You're going to increase the difference between your masculinity and her femininity. Guys, this is what creates that burning attraction. If you have ever felt, maybe some of you won't, but I remember the first time I felt this. If you have ever felt polarity, it's like a fucking magnet. Like you'll be speaking to the girl and you will literally feel a magnetic pulse pulling you two together if you get this right. And she will feel this shit too. If you sit in your masculine. If you are in your masculine and you get that by making decisions, by doing all these tips I'm going to give you, right, by reducing the eye contact you give her, you'll naturally put her in her feminine. And that will create polarity. Okay, fellas? Right, let's go on to the next one. So what is the next one? Body language. And this is the Force Ops classic, mate. A lot of you guys will know this, but in case you don't, 80% or roughly, this is what the scientific research has found, roughly 80% of communication is done through body language. Okay? So that's probably quite important. Right, it's probably a good idea that we get this down. Basically, fellas, what you want to use, you just want to use high status body language. And what does that tactically mean? Well, you want to show zero nerves. But you want to have zero nerves. Why do you want to have zero nerves? Because it just tells her, you're nothing special to me. I can replace you. I've dated far hotter women than you before. And that might not be true, but that's the impression she's going to get when you just don't fucking fidget. And you might be thinking, Force, why are you telling me not to fidget? I don't fidget when I'm on dates. I don't fidget when I'm speaking to women. I can guarantee with 100% certainty, if you videoed yourself and saw your body language, you would be fidgeting like a motherfucker. Your hands would be going, you'd be moving your feet, you'd be shuffling around. I guarantee, guys, next time you are on a date or next time you are speaking to a woman, consciously think about this. Consciously think about not fidgeting, right? Another tip you want to have strong, non-darty eye contact. What does that mean? When you're looking at her, you're holding it. Your eyes aren't going all over the place. When you are not looking at her, your eye contact is fixed. Then when you move it between these two places, it's one swift movement. It's not darty. Like most fellas, most men, when they are speaking to women, It will be darty eye contact. They'll be nervous, right? They'll be moving all around. And what's that going to tell her? You're nervous, right? This is key, fellas. The next point I want to give you on body language, you want to look extremely relaxed. And again, for the reasons I said above, and the way you look extremely relaxed, fellas, is just lean back in your fucking chair when you're speaking to her. This is a really nice tactical tip I can give you. Lean back in your chair. Really powerful, fellas. Lean back in your chair and don't lean forward. Again, if you are not careful, you will do this automatically when you're on a date or when you're speaking to girls. You will lean into them. You don't want to do that because that's giving them the power. You want to lean back. I'm telling you, this is a game changer. Let's go to the next point. So we've covered three things. So we've covered attention, you understand that. We've covered how to speak and the exact tips I use, and we've covered body language. I've said, look, fellas, you want to be completely relaxed, you want to be completely calm. You're going to do that by not fidgeting, strong eye contact, having relaxed, calm body language, leaning back in your chair. Fellas, if you just do these three things, you're already halfway there to being this guy, right? Let's go on to the next point. Texting. I'm going to blow my fucking brains out. Okay. This is a massive, massive, massive one for being the arsehole women love. Let me explain this to you now. First things first, you want to turn your notifications off. My phone, it is literally impossible to distract me. You cannot get into contact with force ops. It's impossible. Right? Do that. That will just fucking 10x your attraction. Like, it's not even hard. Like, again, no one's talking about this stuff. But if you turn your notifications off and you do not respond to her because you're fucking working, that will make you more attractive to her. Okay? The real reason you want to have, or another reason you want to have notifications off, if you don't, it just puts you in a weak state of mind. Like, it just makes you weak. Like, you're waiting 24/7 for a ping from her. Like, you've got a text message from her. It's just fucking weak behavior, guys, and it just puts you in a weak frame of mind. So a lot of guys ask me, Force, how do I not be needy? Well, the answer is just turn your fucking notifications off, and you won't be needy. The next tip, I hear a lot of these dating gurus give this tip where they're like, wait 3 hours and 30 minutes before you respond to her. Well, that works, but only if you're actually busy. Don't pretend to be busy. That is the gayest thing I've ever heard. You're strategizing, thinking, I'm going to wait 3.5 hours and 34 seconds before I text her back. That's the gayest shit I've ever heard in my life. That will just put you in some weak frame of mind, because, fellas, you're always thinking about her if you're doing this. You're like, oh, how can I attract her? No. It just makes you weak. Don't pretend to be busy. Don't pretend to be working. The key thing is, yes, you should leave a massive gap between the time when she texts and you respond. Like, it takes me, maybe I don't recommend you do this, but it takes me 24 plus hours minimum to respond to text messages, minimum. And the reason for that is, fellas, is because I'm actually working. Right? I'm actually too busy fucking working. And if you're too busy fucking working and pursuing your goals, you're going to not be able to respond to her text messages, and that's going to make you incredibly attractive to her. But the worst thing is, when you pretend to be busy, because it just makes you weak. Like, you're strategizing on how to attract her. It's just gay behavior, fellas. It's going to make you weak. So the next one is, high status men do not text women, or they text women as little as possible. The reason for that is, if you text her, you're just giving her free attention. That's all you're doing. You're just giving her free attention that she doesn't have to meet you in person for. That's the last thing you want to do. Why? Because if you give her free attention over the phone, that's why she's ringing you, by the way, because she wants your attention. If you give that to her over the phone or on text message, there's zero motivation to come and meet you and actually go on a date and actually interact like human beings. Right? What's the fun? Like, it's just a massive waste of time, fellas. So don't text. This is a rule. The only point of texting is to set a date or do critical communication. Do not fucking text otherwise. What else are you gonna send her? Are you gonna send her a fucking meme? Like what? There's high status men, winners, champions, the men that women are actually attracted to. Do not text. They don't text. We don't text. Except if it's absolutely necessary, like to set a date. Don't text women. It's a classic mistake. I see these videos all the time, or I used to. Like, all these dating gurus say, oh, how to text a woman to make her interested in you. It's bullshit, fellas. You don't need to text. It's a waste of time. Think about it from this way. Think about it this way. If you were a man who was on his fucking mission and had an abundance of beautiful women coming after him, would you text? Would you be sitting on the phone and sending fucking good morning texts and sending fucking what did you have for lunch today texts? No. Not in any reality would you be doing that. Not in any reality. And she knows that. It's a test. It's a test. So the thing is, like, you'll do all these things I'm telling you. And then you'll start texting her fucking memes or texting her good morning. And boom, she's realized you're a fucking pussy. It's a test, fellas. Don't text. High status men do not text, and beautiful girls know this. They know this shit, right? Subconsciously, they know men that they want are too busy to be texting. Okay, I will give you a bonus tip that no one on the internet has ever given before, and if they have, it's because they saw my high status texting guide I released 3 years ago. No one has ever said this. As a rule, never in any circumstance, in any reality, in any world, in any multiverse, do you ever view a woman's story. Ever. Ever. There's no reason for you to do that. It's just gay. Like, it's just gay. Like, how... First of all, I'm saying this man to man. How have you got that much time to be checking a woman's story? Like, if I had that time, I think I could fucking cure cancer tomorrow, fellas. I don't get it. If you have the time to be viewing a girl's story, it's just a fucking signal that the universe has sent you that you need to get you need to set a fucking big goal and start working on it. Never ever do that shit. Ever. Okay, I will give you another bonus tip. Never in any world FaceTime. If you FaceTime, you are just asking. Just don't do it. Again, in what world would a high status man have time to FaceTime? No. No high status man has ever FaceTimed a woman. Ever. In any world. Never. So don't do that. The next tip I have, again, I've just said this again, but you should be too busy to take phone calls, FaceTime, or text. And then the final tip I have for this point is I protect my time. It is literally impossible to distract me, right? No one can phone me. By the way, I don't give girls my numbers. They have a separate phone. My work phone is a Zen Buddhism environment. You can't distract me. And also, if someone does call, that shit goes straight to voicemail, right? You can't call me. Okay, let's go to the next point. But hopefully you get that. The next point is detachment. Oh no, it's not. Wrong one. We'll cover that in a minute. So polarity. We'll cover detachment in a minute, fellas. Give me a second. Okay, masculinity. Just like I explained to you earlier, fellas. The second piece of attraction is this, right? Men are inherently masculine and women are inherently feminine. Like the difference between these two is what causes the magnetism. So again, you might be thinking, of course, how do I, or may not be asking me this question, but you may be thinking, oh, how do I be magnetic to women? And no one on earth will ever give you this answer. And I'm going to I've solved this problem. I've realized the answer to this. It's just polarity, guys. That's how you be magnetic. And I actually don't know the science, like why you feel that fucking that literal magnetic pull. I don't know what causes the magnet, like the when you do these tips, fellas, just come back to this video and just comment to the other guys. No, when you apply this stuff and you feel like the magnetic fucking pull between you and a beautiful girl when you use this stuff, like the only thing I can think of is in nature, like positives and negatives attract. So I think that's the reason why. But like you will just feel a magnetic pull, and this is how you become magnetic to women, is by being a very masculine guy. That's the secret that no one on fucking earth knows. So now you know it as well. Basically, fellas, you cannot be a feminine guy. Like you can't be emotional. You can't be telling jokes. You can't be entertaining her. First of all, fellas, I'm too fucking tired at the end of my work day to entertain a girl. I just haven't got the fucking energy. Right? There's just, you have to be a masculine, strong guy. Like you just have to be that guy. And the way you're that guy, fellas, is by being calm, is by being unreactive, is by using the high stats body language I talked to you about earlier. Right? You also have to be the rock. You have to be the rock that other people lean on. So basically, let's say there's some fucking emergency. You have to be the calm, fucking ice cold presence. This is how you become masculine, fellas. And then she can come and lean on you. She can come and cry on your shoulder. Oh, Force. Oh, I'm so upset. This bad thing has happened. You're like, completely understand. I'm here for you. I'm going to make it better. I'm here for you. You're safe now. Women love that shit. That's what makes you a masculine man. And that's what makes you magnetic to women. When you're a masculine guy, that's what's going to create the polarity. Okay. The next one, what is it? Safety. This is a massive one, fellas. If I can find my notes for it. It's fairly obvious, but this links in with this point here, right? A woman has to feel safe around you, and you don't have to be the biggest fucking 8'9", 250 kilo, 10% body fat mother. No. It's this like obviously not that big, but like I'm 6'5". I'm a heavy, strong guy. Like that helps. That helps. I'm a strong guy. I'm athletic. I'm built. Right? I can run fast. I can lift heavy weights. I'm an explosive, strong guy. I'm not gonna lie. When women see me, yes, that helps. They just instantly feel reassured, right? You don't have to be that. When since I was fucking 18, 17 years old, I've grown since then, but I think when I was 21, I was 6'5". But when I was 18, I was like a tall guy, like still in the top like 1% of the height in the male population, right? When I was 18 years old. I was a fucking pussy. And girls did not feel safe around me. Right? And they weren't attracted to me. So I've seen guys who were, like, there's this one guy I know, who goes to the same gym as me. He's got one fucking arm and he's short and he's old. But he's still banging some hot birds, some hot girls, right? He's 5'7", so he's short. He's got one arm or half an arm. He's an old guy and he's still banging hot girls. He's still dating hot women. Why? Because he's a masculine guy. They feel safe around him. His presence is calming. Right? And that's massively attractive to girls. Massively. You don't have to be a massive guy. It's your presence which is going to make them feel safe around you, fellas. How you carry yourself, the way you walk. Right? And again, this is something you're going to get from the body language. From being completely calm, right? From not fidgeting. That's going to be a calming, soothing presence. She's going to feel calm around you. The next one, detachment. Okay, now we're getting into the meat and potatoes of it. Do you think if you had a massive goal, you'd give a fuck if this girl you've just been on a first date with lost interest? would you give a fuck? Would you give a fuck? Because I fucking wouldn't. You wouldn't, right? Be completely calm. You like if, for example, I'm not dating that much in this current phase of my life because I'm on a mission, as you fellas know. But when I was, and I used to go on dates, like if a girl, this never happened, but if a girl was not interested in me, obviously this never happened because I've got the tips, I've got the tactics that you don't. Do you like? If a girl just didn't text me back or whatever, I'd be relieved. I'd be like, thank God, I'm no longer gonna have to waste my precious time to go on a date with you. I'm no longer gonna have to waste my precious time to pick you up and drop you off at your fucking house. Thank Jesus. Right? You should be grateful. You should be I just don't care. Like this is the mindset you have to have, fellas. I'm doing you a favor. I'm doing you a favor by giving you my attention, by giving you my calm, masculine presence. I'm doing you a favor. I just don't care. And fellas, you're going to get that confidence by having a goal. That's the only way you have that confidence, by when you have a big mission you're pursuing, you're like, look, I know I'm pursuing this goal. And because I'm pursuing this goal, I've got loads of options. But even if I didn't have loads of options, I've got this massive goal. I don't have time. Thank you for not being interested in me. Thank you for giving me honest feedback and not wasting my time. Thank God. Right? Fellas, this is how you stay detached. You have to have a mission. You have to have a purpose. You have to have a goal, right? That's how you stay detached. So you don't need to watch any fucking videos of how do I have an abundance mindset? How do I stay detached? No. If you have a mission and you have a job and you have a goal, you don't need to worry about any of that bullshit. And again, no one on the internet will tell you this shit because they have not done the things that I have done. They don't have the experience I have. They haven't learned all this stuff. So don't listen to any of those fucking bullshitters. Okay. This is a monster one, fellas. Arrogance and swagger. So this is a monster one. The reason why is because when you have arrogance and swagger, well, what are you actually communicating? What are you at when you walk around like you're the fucking man? What are you communicating to her? You have many options, and you could not give a fuck if she loses interest. That's massively attractive, right? You're just telling her, look, I can replace you, right? I'm a winner. I've got many options. I don't need to try. I've got a massive goal. I just don't give a fuck. I'm at this. I've done all this work. I've spent all this time. I'm just at a point in my life where I just don't care anymore. Like, whatever. That swagger just communicates to women, I have loads of options. That's what it's telling her. You're number one. I'm the highest status man. Me letting you in my presence is doing you a favor. Right? I'm doing you. I have the power here. I don't need you. That's arrogance and swagger, fellas. Mission, right? As a rule, fellas, if she adds any stress to your life, get rid of her. If it's like, obviously, if it's your wife or a long-term dating, like, tell her, look, I'm on a mission, whatever. But if it's some girl you've been on 1 or 2 dates with, don't even respond to her message. Just like, if she starts sending you like 8 paragraphs, like, you don't give me enough attention, you don't see me enough. Love, I've been on 1 date with you. I've been on 2 dates with you. I hardly know you. And you're complaining at me. You're saying, oh, no. See you later, bro. See you later. Also, fellas, if you subconsciously believe this, where if she adds any stress to my life, see you later, mate. You're going to communicate that subconsciously to her. You're going to tell her that. Right? That zero tolerance policy That's massively attractive. Why? Because it tells her, I don't need you. I can replace you. I have zero fear. And again, that's how you make her perceive you as the prize, fellas. It's not hard. I will give you a tip. An ambitious man on a mission is the number one most attractive type of man on the planet. It just is. Right? I'm telling you this from personal experience. There is nothing a woman wants more than this, than to help a man who is on a mission. There is nothing. So if she's adding stress to your life and not helping you achieve your goal, just get rid of her. She's not helping you. She's clearly not a high quality woman. Because that's not what they do. Right, fellas, the final point. And I do actually have a bonus. Well, this is the bonus. Uncertainty. This is a monster point. This uncertainty is some dark shit. Don't be a prick and don't be a scumbag when using this. Use it with caution and use it ethically. Uncertainty is a woman's kryptonite, right? This is what makes them go crazy. They want to be confused. They don't want to know what's going on. This is what's going to cause her to chase you. This is what's going to cause her to be attracted to you and pursue you and become attached to you. They love the mystery. They love the chase. They love not knowing. So I'll give you a few tactical tips for this. Right? Don't be too available, right? Don't see her every week. Mix it up. Every month, skip a few weeks. Don't see her for a few weeks. Don't give any explanation or just give a 2-word response. I'm busy. I'm working. Right? Another point you can give. Leave her on red for a few days. Just fucking disappear. Right? Fellas, randomness is the key. It cannot be predictable, right? It is a game to them. And again, don't try and manipulate her. I can't believe I have to fucking say this. Like, if you're not busy, don't act like you're busy. Like, fellas, I respond to the messages as soon as I see the messages. I don't read them, then fucking set a timer for 48 hours. No. As soon as I see the messages, I respond to the messages. So yes, what I'm telling you, like, yes, leave her on red for a few days. It shouldn't be deliberate. It should just happen because you're so busy. You just forget. You just don't check WhatsApp because you're working. You just don't check your messages because you're working. You don't hear a phone call because your phone's off because you're working. Don't make this shit up. If you're not busy, don't pretend you're busy. Get fucking busy. I can't believe I have to say this shit. Fellas, if you want tactical tips, if you want some of the shit that I cannot say publicly for legal reasons, the shit that's so effective that I literally cannot put it on YouTube, I would get banned, right? If you want access to those tips, if you want access to my proprietary methods that I have spent quite literally thousands of hours testing, building, developing, researching, giving to other men, letting them test them, getting feedback, improving them, click the top link in the description. Fill in your information, schedule a call. You'll tell me everything that's going on in your life. I will then make you a recommendation. And if you're a good fit, I'll let you in. I'll give you access to the tactics. I'll give you access to the system. I'll give you access to the methods. Right? Click the link in the top of the description. If you don't want to, I don't give a fuck. Remember, this has taken me thousands of hours to build. If you don't want to get them, I don't give a fuck, mate. I know how valuable they are. Some other guy will want them. In fact, the less people that have them, it's probably better. So it's your decision. If you're interested in that, click the top link in the description to learn the stuff or get access to the methods, tactics, systems, processes that are so potent that I cannot release them publicly. I will see you in the next one, fellas.